Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about the hormones that is secreted by pituitary glands, both anterior pituitary and posterior pituitary gland. Let's start with anterior pituitary gland. The hormones that is secreted by anterior pituitary glands are growth hormone, TSH, gonadotropin hormones, and ACTH. These are the hormone which is secreted by anterior pituitary, and posterior pituitary gland will secrete oxytocin and antidiuretic hormone. Now let's start with growth hormone. It is protein in nature and generally secreted by acidophil cells of anterior pituitary gland. Now what is the role of GH? It is mainly responsible for the growth of almost all tissues. It will responsible for the division, mitotic division of cells. It will increase the number as well as size of the cells. Now it has also effect on metabolism. It will affect on almost all type of nutrient metabolism. Let's say protein metabolism, in which it will increase RNA translation, increase the transcription of DNA to RNA, plus it will decrease the catabolism of protein, and it is also responsible for fat metabolism. uh, on carbohydrate metabolism, it regulate the excess blood glucose and direct effect on uh, growth hormone on beta cells, which will release the insulin. And on bones, it will increase the formation of new bones, plus it will increase the multiplication and differentiation of osteogenic cells. So ultimately it is responsible for the formation of new bones, but it doesn't have any direct effect on bones. It acts through substance known as somatomedin, which is responsible for the uh, bone formation. Now how GH will regulate it? It is greater at night during sleep times. The secretion of growth hormone is higher at the night time. It is regulated by the hypothalamus, where there is growth hormone inhibitory hormone as well as growth hormone releasing hormone. These both will regulate the level of GH by the anterior pituitary gland, and it is regulated by feedback inhibition, negative feedback system. So this is about growth hormone. Now let's start with thyroid stimulating hormone. We had also discussed it in the thyroid gland. It is also one type of glycoprotein which is released and regulated by negative feedback mechanism. Now what is the role of thyroid stimulating hormone? It is also necessary for the growth and the secretory activity of thyroid gland. Means it is, we can say it is the heart of thyroid gland. It increase the number of thyroid cells, means it will ultimately increase the number of follicles from which thyroid hormone is secreted. It increase size and secretory activity of thyroid follicles, plus it is also increase iodine trapping procedure, iodine trapping, which is what we had discussed in thyroid gland. It also increase the thyroglobulin secretion. Now what is thyroglobulin? It is one type of protein where thyroid hormones are binding before releasing to the bloodstream. It also increase iodination of tyrosine and coupling to form the hormone. This iodination is necessary during the thyroid hormone synthesis, that is T3 and T4. It also increase proteolysis of the thyroglobulin. So the T3 and T4 secretion is increased. Now another one is adrenocorticotropic hormone, that is ACTH. It is also one type of polypeptide hormone and it is secreted and regulated by negative feedback mechanism. Now the level of ACTH is at highest at 8 am, means during the morning, and it going to fall at the midnight. So at the midnight the level of these hormone is lowest. It is associated with the sleep pattern, means it will regulate the sleep, we can say circadian rhythm. The main function of ACTH is to increase the concentration of cholesterol and steroids within the adrenal cortex and output of steroid hormone. So this is about ACTH. Now another one is prolactin. What is prolactin? It is just polypeptide hormone which is responsible for the secretion of milk from mammary gland. It acts directly on the epithelial cells of mammary glands and cause localized alveolar hyperplasia, means it will increase the size of the cells from which milk will be secreted. Like growth hormone, the secretion of prolactin is also controlled by hypothalamus. So it is also controlled by feedback mechanism system. Another hormones are gonadotropin hormones. It includes FSH, LH and ICSH. Basophil cells of anterior pituitary gland will secrete these hormones. Like FSH is stand for follicle stimulating hormone, LH means luteinizing hormone, and ICSH interstitial stimulating hormone. FSH will stimulate the production of gametes, means ova or spermatozoa. It affect on both male and female. LH will cause the formation of corpus luteum. In female, LH and FSH are involved in the secretion of these hormones like estrogen and progesterone during menstrual cycle, and ultimately it is responsible for the rupture of follicles and it causes ovulation. ICSH is stimulate the interstitial cells in testis which will secrete the hormone, male hormone testosterone. Now we will move to the hormones of posterior pituitary glands. These includes oxytocin and antidiuretic hormone. Actually, posterior pituitary glands will not secrete hormones, but it just stores the hormone. The cells of pituitary glands are of neural type and it consists of unmyelinated nerve fibers. Let's start with oxytocin. It is polypeptide hormone secreted by paraventricular nucleus of hypothalamus. It is secreted by hypothalamus, but it is stored in the posterior pituitary gland. It is released in blood. Now, a role of oxytocin include it secrete or it eject milk from mammary glands by contraction of myoepithelial cells of mammary gland. It will contract the myoepithelial cells of mammary gland and ultimately it will responsible for the release of milk. On pregnant uterus, it cause contraction of uterus and this is helpful in the expulsion of fetus. So we can say it will induce the labor. It is responsible for the labor. It also stimulates the release of prostaglandin in placenta, which is cause the uterine contraction. So the pain, we can say the labor pain which is induced by the oxytocin. On non-pregnant uterus, it is helpful in the transport of sperms through female genital parts, and it uh, deliver the sperm from the genital part up to fallopian tube by producing uterine contraction. It causes uterine contraction in non-pregnant woman, and it causes the transportation of sperms. And last one is antidiuretic hormone, or we can say vasopressin. It is the name itself says that it is antidiuretic, means it causes the reabsorption of urine or reabsorption of salts and water. It is polypeptide hormone secreted by supraoptic nucleus of hypothalamus, same as oxytocin. It is also secreted by hypothalamus, but it is stored in the pituitary gland. The main effect of ADH are to reduce urine output, means it will store the, or it will reserve the water and salts in the body. So ultimately it will reduce the urine output. It increase the permeability to water of DCT, distal convoluted tube of kidneys. So it causes reabsorption of water. Another action of ADH is vasoconstriction. It also causes vasoconstriction. It causes constriction of blood vessels, and in particular it causes the constriction of arteries. It depends, the secretion of ADH is depends on volume of body fluid and osmolarity of body fluid. So the secretion of ADH is regulated by the amount of body fluid and osmolarity of body fluid. So this is about